saw your smile. Oh, we can go across the oceans and see the world tonight. Oh, say hello to the mountains and watch the new sunrise. But no matter what the country, the city, the street, by land or by sea, together forever is my favorite place to be.
Good morning. As you can see, it is early morning here. Just about 7 a.m. Everybody's just waking up. And you can see, Mommy's just waking up. Little Richie's still sleeping. But it's early morning, so of course playtime for Tiki and time for her to go outside and have her breakfast. Hey Tiki, yeah, you like your breakfast, don't you? Mm-hmm. Ready, Tiki? Come on up. Good girl. Yes. Time for breakfast. As we start our day on Sophisticated Lady. There you go. Ready? Up you go. Good girl. Good girl. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Having some water? Here, let Daddy get you some fresh water. Having your pellets? Good girl. Here's your fresh water. Thank you, Daddy. Good girl. Have a good breakfast. Next, of course, the sun is coming up, as you can see. So, time for some shades. But there is what our morning looks like. As the sun is coming up on the bow, right up out of the east. You see, we got our little living room set up on the bow. This is where we like to sit and enjoy our mornings and our evenings. We got the sunshade here now that keeps the sun off of us during the day. So we can even use it at the daytime if somebody wants to come up and chill on the deck pad. So of course, one of the other things I have to do every morning is look after all of my herbs and plants. As we have some new batches coming up that we just planted. So it's full moon, as you know. And the best time to plant new seedlings is just as the full moon is coming out. So we always plant on the new moon, and we got some new batches of basil right here. Coming up very nicely. These are our basil trees that we use for seeds. So you can see these ones have got some new seeds coming, but we just planted these about a week and a half ago, and these a week and a half ago. So you can see they are coming up very well. But basil does like water, so we give them a good dose of water every morning. And that keeps them healthy and happy. And as you can see, they're enjoying their environment. So they're coming up fast. And over here we have a new batch of peppers coming as well, but they are just planted, so we only have just a couple of seedlings coming up, as you can see. And of course our normal aloe that we use for everything. Burns, cuts, anything you need aloe for. And of course aloe doesn't need too much water, but it does need some. So we just give it a light sprinkle every day, and it's good to go. Just not too much sun, so that's why I keep it in the shade behind. Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, we've always had our gardens on board. We started really growing the herbs and vegetables and stuff when lockdown happened. And it's always been a great exercise, great hobby, and it's not hard to do. It just takes a little love and care, and they do quite well. We got some new pots. We haven't decided what we're going to put in there yet, but we'll be doing those next. Good morning, Mommy.
Good morning.
Feeling okay?
Yeah, I need to wake up.
Get a good sleep? Richie let you sleep last night?
So all the time in the running. You wake up in the night, running.
Still sleeping?
Yeah, now I run in the bed. I take all my space and jump up to Mama like a dead body. Yeah, and I find Mama sleep like a sardine in between Daddy and Richie.
Getting ready for your yoga?
Yeah, I'm almost ready. I don't know, because you work in a video and everything, and I don't know if she bother you or what.
No, it's Sunday, so what do you think? We doing our coffee and Baileys today?
Yeah, after my yoga. I have, I think so, 20-30 minutes available.
And yeah, I know that was one of the things you guys mentioned in the video last, is that for the acid reflux problem, don't drink coffee or anything like that. And yeah, I just want to point out, I actually do not drink coffee. I hate coffee. It doesn't turn me on at all. I do like coffee and Baileys, but I always drink decaffeinated, because when I used to drink it with caffeine, even once a week, I found it immediately gave me heartburn. It was a very fast trigger, so yeah.
That is good also.
So thanks for the tip. No, that's yeah, I was doing my engine service this morning. That's
there
that
is
coffee.
the count of the kitchen. Sometimes the people can make a mistake.
Yeah. No, I know. I got to put it away again. But this is cleaning my fuel filters, because yeah, I just finished doing some engine maintenance.
Extra virgin chili pepper oil.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I just finished doing some engine maintenance and changing the filter. So we just put in a new filter and changed the ray core, but of course, changing the filter, I had to drain out all the bad stuff that's in the engine. There's another replacement filter there. We just finished changing the engine oil, the oil filter, and the fuel filter at the back there. So we just finished doing a full maintenance on it, checking everything, and the coolant, of course.
Yeah, this engine is amazing. The alternator working great. The engine is great. I can't believe really the change in this year.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work with these alternators again the last few days, and mostly just refining the cooling system, because the cooling system, you know, these alternators generate a lot of heat, and of course they're in a closed environment. I've got one 4-inch blower, like a 4-inch blower, that sucks all the heat out of the engine compartment and takes it outside, but you still need to cool these, because if they don't dissipate the heat directly from the alternator, they just get too hot and they immediately start to slow down their charging. So you lose a lot of your percentage of charging. It makes them a lot less efficient than they could be if they remain cool. Yeah, you can see on this alternator here, we've got a 4-inch tube that I've strapped to the top of it that vents directly inside the alternator. And the same thing on this side, another 4-inch tube from another 4-inch blower. So we go around to the side of the engine. You can see what I've got done here. There's a 4-inch blower mounted right here, 4-inch tube, and it comes right up strapped to the side, so that this 4-inch tube jets straight into the side vents of the alternator and injects all of the cooling air straight into the coils. And we go around to the other side, and you see the exact same thing. This one has its own 4-inch blower right there. 4-inch tube coming straight in and jetted straight into the vents of the alternator, and that does a phenomenal job cooling the alternators. Now I show you this because this is a very important feature if you're going to ever have high output alternators on your engine. It's most important how you keep them cool, otherwise you're just going to lose all your efficiency, and having the alternator won't make any difference at all, because if you put a 5,000 watt alternator on it but it gets too hot and comes down to 3,000 watts, well, you just lost, 40% of your charging efficiency. So what's the point? By putting these blowers on, blowers are relatively inexpensive by comparison to the cost of the alternators, but they make all the difference in the world. So it's just one simple thing you can do, but it does take a while to find the best place to cool the alternator. I've tried about 6 different positions with those vents. This one by far works the best, so that's why I'm letting you know that it's worth looking at. It's a good option to have some good cooling if you're going to run high output alternators. Big difference. Now, as for this, I'm sure you're all wondering, well, why is there so much dirt in the fuel? This is an ongoing issue. If you remember, we had this problem before, and it's a problem with the fuel tank itself. Okay, now we have had the fuel cleaned a couple of times. I've cleaned it. I've had somebody come in with cleaning gear, but nobody around here, down here, has biocide. So we just filled up the fuel tank recently with fresh fuel, and I put some stabilizer in it. That's the only thing we can get down here is diesel stabilizer, but they don't have biocide, and this is all bacteriological problems. This is stuff that grows in the fuel. Okay, so on the top there, that's clean fuel, but at the bottom, that's all the dirt that comes out of the ray core. And we have this problem, it keeps plugging up our fuel filters and our fuel lines, and sometimes the engine just stalls, and I've done everything to try and eliminate it, but the stuff just keeps growing. So I finally, we've got a source now up in the States. Somebody's going to bring down a bottle of biocide, and it's going to be here in about 2 weeks' time. So until then, we just have to keep cleaning the filter as often as possible, because the stuff just never stops growing. The biocide we just add into the fuel tank, and if we use that on a regular basis, it will stop the growth. It will kill all the algae, and of course then all the algae will become a solid. Then we have to clean the fuel again. So that's when we call in somebody with a good fuel cleaning system, which of course doesn't really exist on the island. We're stuck with what we got access to, which is just pumps and filters basically. But it will do the job much better once all the bacteria is removed from the fuel itself. Because the problem is, if you don't clean the fuel in the tank itself, but our tank has baffles in it, so there's no way to access and get a sprayer in there and actually clean the whole tank. So the only thing we can do is put the biocide in and let the fuel slosh around in the tank and kill everything on the sides of the tank itself. Okay, because without killing everything on the sides of the tank, as soon as you put the fuel back in the tank, it's still bacteria growth on the sides of the tank, and that just goes straight back into the fuel, and that's the problem that we're having. So anyway, long story short, biocide, that's what we need for the fuel tank to solve this issue, and then we won't have this anymore, because right now I'm going through a lot of Raycor filters and that gets expensive. As for the new engine itself, the Beta Marine, we love this engine. It has been so phenomenal and so reliable. I mean, it's what a diesel engine is supposed to be, but you remember what we were used to with the last one. It was headaches all the time, but it's just so nice. Every time you go to push the button, boom, it's there, and it works perfectly, and no hiccups, aside from our fuel issue, but that's hardly the engine's fault. So thanks again to all you guys for helping us with this new Beta Marine project. I can tell you for sure it's working great. We've got about 400 hours on the engine so far already, because we've been doing a lot of testing and just running it, and especially with the alternators, just to make sure everything, you know, well, just testing. That's what I do. So I test a lot of different scenarios, see how everything works, what the power output curves are, and that's all stuff I'll get back to you guys in the future as I finish up my testing on the two alternators and let you know how they're actually doing in real world environment, because that's the key. So yes, it is Sunday, but I'm officially letting you guys know that I am officially getting back to work. So today, my project is going to be starting to film a commercial for one of our new supporters of the channel, and that's going to be this guy here. You're going to hear lots about this, but today we're going to be filming a little promo spot for Jackery, because this is one of their brand new devices that they shipped us that is quite amazing for what it can do given its size, and they shipped it with 2 bifacial solar panels, portable solar panels,
very
that
nice, yeah.
are amazing. Really loving the fact that these manufacturers are starting to get into the bifacial solar panels even with their portables, so thumbs up to that. But that's going to be today's project, so you'll see that probably next week or so in another video. Almost boiling?
Almost.
Okay, so we'll let you work on that. And then you want your yoga, so...
Your yoga for rich people, because the decaffeinated coffee is one of the most expensive of the world. It's like It's for rich people, the decaffeinated coffee.
Oh, yeah, I know. But yeah, it's amazing that you want to have decaffeinated coffee. Everybody loves caffeine in the coffee. That's why they buy coffee. But as soon as you remove the caffeine, it becomes like 10 times as expensive.
Yeah,
Go
it's
figure.
for rich people now.
It's really, yeah.
For this is good 1 time a week.
That's why we only have it once a week. Sundays, it's our coffee and Bailey's day, so it's a nice treat.
E ora riportiamo la mano sinistra a terra e torniamo nel cane a faccia in giù. Ci prepariamo per l'altro lato. Con le ginocchia facciamo un saltino sul fronte del tappetino. Inspiriamo, allunghiamo la colonna, espirando fronte e lentamente ci solleviamo, braccia verso l'alto, mani di fronte al cuore. Inspiriamo ed espiriamo nella posizione.
Okay, we'll leave Maddie alone to enjoy her time. Whoops. I think we'll go upstairs and have coffee time. And a beautiful morning it is, as you can probably almost see. Okay, but I can tell you, my friends, that there is a purpose to today's video. And the purpose is to say thank you so much to you guys for all of your support and nice comments yesterday, regarding my situation with the voice. And as you can see in the mornings, my voice is actually pretty good. It gets progressively worse during the course of the day, but that's why I figured I'd get up today, because you guys actually motivated me to want to get my butt back in gear and start sharing something real life with you guys again. So cheers to you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your comments more than you know. And some of you did post some interesting questions and some actual helpful suggestions and things like that, so thanks to you guys also. But I thought I'd take the time to answer a couple of your comments in real time, and then we'll carry on with our day. Okay, first comment is Old Jarhead. Jarhead says, good to see you guys. Interesting issue you mentioned. I have just been diagnosed with a paroesophageal hernia after a barium swallow test, a manometry, then CT scan, and next endoscopy, and then a consult with a surgeon. I kind of know your issue. Good luck with it, Capitan. Greetings from Old Jarhead in WNC. Well, thanks for your comment. And actually, you point out something that I wanted to make mention of here, is that for me, this is not a new issue. This hiatal hernia that I've been mentioned yesterday is something that developed over 20 years ago, and I had the same thing you're talking about. I remember that barium test. You brought it all back to me, and I was thinking, wow, yeah. They put me on a big machine. You have to swallow this barium solution that feels like liquid lead. It's about this much liquid in a cup, and it's like heavy, heavy. And you have to drink this liquid. Then they strap you into a machine and start turning you upside down in all different directions while they x-ray you and see where the metal is going through your body, where it stops, where it's interrupted, where it flows through fine. And that's when I was diagnosed as well with the hiatal hernia. They could see the problem with the valve there as it was developing. But that was over 20 years ago. That was before I even started sailing Sophisticated Lady. So yeah, I'm well aware of the of what that experience was like. But well, it kind of went away. Well, I won't say went away. It comes and goes. Okay, it developed over the years, and then about 3 years ago or 4, it started developing into something where I couldn't swallow food fast. I had to really, especially stuff like potatoes, rice, bread, sticky things, you know, or high density things. Things would get stuck very easily, and then I would just be stuck waiting for it to pass, and sometimes that would take half an hour. And it can be quite painful sometimes, as some of you mentioned. I know, I'm aware. So, but anyway, the medication they put me on now, part of it is just Gaviscon. A dose of Gaviscon at night before you go to bed. And what they're treating is the acid reflux issue, so that when I'm sleeping, the acid reflux doesn't come back up into your esophagus and start burning at the tissue there, because that's what causes the whole root of the problem. So we have to kind of take it backwards now, and it's taking a long time to get there. It's going to take a long time to go away. So I basically just have to stick with the medications. But yes, the medications are pretty much entirely acid reflux treatments for that gastronomical same problem that you were describing there. So yes, thanks for the comment. Brought back a lot of memories that, yeah, well, we don't really care to remember, but it's good to remember sometimes. Okay, next question. Intrusive nature. Oh yeah, there's a good nickname. Irresponsible parents with no life jackets. Yeah, you sound intrusive. I'll give you that. But I will comment on that because we have life jackets everywhere, including in the dinghy. We have 4 life jackets in the dinghy all the time. Multiple flotation devices. You might even be able to see some of them right there as the dinghy's in the hoist behind me right now. We have life jacket in the dinghy for Richie at all times. We have 3 life jackets for Richie on the boat. We can grab anything anytime we need. But you know, around here, we're in a very controlled environment. Accidents are very, very rare because everybody's very courteous and we don't have that kind of issue. You can see them coming. Now at night is a different story, but we also don't drive the dinghy at night very, very rarely. And if we ever have Richie in the dinghy with us at night, of course, he has his life jacket on before we leave the boat or the dock, for sure, 100%. Okay, next question. And this one is Reiko Blackstar. And he says, Capitan? What the hell happened to Rick or Captain? Things in this channel are getting too weird. I don't know what's weird, dude. You know, we're traveling in Spanish countries for almost 3 years, right? Capitan is simply Spanish for captain. So, I don't know what that's about, but anyway. Next question. Stan McKay. Stan McKay says, I love the videos. Your health is most important. I would love to watch content, even older content, without any audio while you take care of yourself. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Stan, because you remember that's how my channel started, with Ambient Real Life. Well, actually, my channel started even long before Ambient Real Life by like 6 or 7 years. But with Ambient Real Life, it was just extended scenes of sailing or beaches or waves or rain in the trees, anything like that, just listening to ambient sounds of real life. Now, I'm not planning on going back to exactly the same thing, but I've been thinking about something for a long time, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it, because I'm thinking about having a little set of extra videos that I'm simply going to call SSL X-Files, because it's just going to be something that... Hey Siri. Tiki. Hey Siri. Yeah, she hears that a lot, I think. But yeah, the X-Files is just something that's going to be files that either haven't been used in SSL videos before, like, you know, ones that we skipped over, or longer versions, some of my favorite aerials, some of our favorite songs. I was thinking about doing a series with some different types of music in the background, some with no music, and some with our old favorite songs from our SSL videos from way back when. So what do you guys think about that? I'd be interested to know in your comments below. So please leave us a comment and let me know. I'd be loving to hear from you. And this question is from Lou P. Lou P says, glad you're back home and that you're dealing with the voice issue and sounds like it's not serious. Well, no, I don't think it's serious. It's more aggravating than anything, but you know, we're dealing with it. And he says, the new ride is nice. How about a helmet, at least for the baby? Well, okay, yes, I understand. We actually do now have a helmet. When we filmed that, we did not, but we just received one and we do have one for Richie. And you remember, well, you have to remember, we are on an island in a different country completely from where you guys are, and I'm not, you know, voting out of responsibility. I'm just saying that nobody here wears helmets. You can't buy helmets. They don't exist. The only people with helmets here are the police, and they're all bright green, full-face, you know, helmets that the police wear on their motorcycles. But the general public here, zero helmets. It doesn't exist. And surprisingly, you would think immediately, well, there must be a lot of fatalities. And you know what? We've been here the 3 years that we've spent a lot of time here. I can account for maybe 3 times where I've heard of bad accidents where people were actually injured, and especially as a result of no helmet. In a community where everybody is on the same vehicle, like if you've seen our videos from here over the years, you know that this community is 90% on 2 wheels. Whether it's bicycles, mopeds, scooters, or motorcycles, everybody is very cautious and very courteous to each other because they all know they're in the same situation. You'll see families of 4 people on 1 scooter or 1 motorcycle here, and it's amazing, you know, and nobody has helmets. But yes, Maddie just brought this up to show we just received Richie's new helmet. So he'll be wearing this when we are riding. And somebody else mentioned about glasses as well. Yeah, glasses are nice. I always wear my glasses, but more because of sun irritation than anything. We don't have flying insects at this island. There is no flying insects during the day. The only time there are flying insects is in the evening, because that's what you guys both, 2 of your comments, mentioned, that why don't you have at least glasses on him to keep the bugs out of his eyes? Well, yeah, there are no bugs. It's only sun. And we have sunglasses for Richie also, but he takes them off all the time. It's still hard to get him to keep them on. He doesn't realize the value of having them. But we're getting there. You know, it's 1 step at a time. You can't force anybody to do anything, especially a 1.5-year-old. I'm sure you guys, most of you are aware of that. But we work on it. So anyway, I want to thank you guys again for all of the positive, you know, mentions and comments and suggestions. It's more appreciated than you know. And now I'm going to take you back to our normal episode that was scheduled for now, and that is back in the sandblast, because I want you guys to be able to experience that with us, how we got here, why we are here, but in the normal progression. So let's go back to the sandblast. Yeah, life is good.
It's hard. Some position in the boat is hard. Okay, we have a very nice fish to clean today. I have a very fresh bonito. I think so we make a barbecue this night. Hey Richie, you like fish, I know, but we need to clean now. Ah! This is a very good knife. It's Kamikoto. Directly from Japan. It's a very
sharp
famous brand, very sharp. So this in 1 second I cut myself.
Yeah.
In 2 seconds, it's like cut the most tender meat ever. It's like
the
butter.
knife makes it look easier.
Yeah, it's like butter. Oh, knife, yes. Make your life very easily in the kitchen. Oh, I like the little shark. Look at it. Woo!
The remora.
Yeah, I think there's no good time for fishing here, for swimming now. Woo! You see?
So what do you do when you clean the fish? You just take the
this
guts
kind of
out?
fish is very nice to clean, and it's not very big. For this we cook a whole.
Yeah.
We cook the whole fish in one side in a barbecue, and you don't need really to remove the head or the tail. If you don't have too much space, we can go to remove the tail and the head. But sometimes it's very nice cooked together, especially because the head has a very nice meat inside. A lot of people eat a lot of part of fish that I don't like. But yes, it's a. Ooh, let's see. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey guys, a lunch.
Little shark sucker.
Eat a shark sucker. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, it's a fish. It's the first time you've touched a fish. Yeah. You see, it's very nice. What is this? In the future, you go to catch one? Yes, it's a meat. What, Captain? 15 knots we have?
Oh yeah, we're on the wind, 17 knots on the nose, 45 degrees off the bow,
Not bad.
doing 7 knots.
Hey.
It's a nice day.
Yes, fresh breeze also.
We just left Green Island.
Perfect weather to see.
Yeah. Yeah, we left Green Island and Capitan. Where is our destination of today?
We're going up to the East Hollandaise Keys. So this is Coco Banderas on our starboard bow. We're going to pass those and then go straight up to Hollandaise.
Okay.
Up to the swimming pool, barbecue island. That's where some of our friends are, so we'll go see them and hang out for a day or so and decide what from there.
Okay, great. Little is happy that we're sailing? Arity, you are happy? Yeah, I think so. Ruby is very happy.
I'm super
He's
happy
very
that we're
happy.
sailing again. Yeah. After a couple of days of not sailing, it's good to be back.
Sometimes someone start to miss a bit the sailing day.
Yeah, I mean, Green Island was nice, but it's good to be back. I like it.
Yeah.
After a few days, yeah.
After a few days, yes.
After a few days, it's enough. Yeah.
Very nice day, guys. Sun in the sky, wind in the sail. The water sailing make you sleeping. I think so. It's very good. This, no? If you swimming after 5, is sleeping. If you will sailing, you go to sleeping. It's so good bar. Such a good bar.
yes, we just left the Hollandaise Keys up at the swimming pool way back there. And that's the Coco Banderas Islands right there. We're just out on a beautiful early morning sail. Right now it's about 9:30. We got about 10 to 12 knots of wind right on the beam. And we're doing 5 to 6 knots, so it's a beautiful sail. Very, very nice. And now we're in behind the Coco Islands, so it's flat calm. All the waves get broken by that series of islands and the reefs behind them, so it's really nice sailing today. Very, very, very nice, as you can see.